littlegmail.com. I'm gonna sugar up my coffee though, Melissa. So.
Okay.
What do you guys have going on today?
This and then outpatient treatment something. We're gonna do something like that sometime, and then we're gonna go to AA at 12:30. What's today? Friday?
Yeah.
Friday.
And then I'm gonna go to the one that Becky runs here in town.
One of the what?
Go where?
The women's meeting that Becky runs.
Oh.
Here
Okay.
in town. I've been. Last week I didn't go to it because there was a speaker meeting in Kirksville, and we went to that instead.
Okay.
Even though we didn't
then-
stay for
and
the
then we
speaker
went
meeting,
to
we just brought a
church.
bunch of deviled eggs and then ate and left.
Yeah, and then we went to church for the Easter thing.
Okay.
Yeah. That was interesting. It was an interesting service. Like, I don't think church services are confidential, right? Whereas an
No.
NA or AA meeting would be confidential.
Yeah, no.
Right? So, the church service. So, okay, I'm a part of the fish house that I'm founding. Hold on, let me continue doing this. I got ADHD sometimes. Oh, yeah, okay. But, so, that being the case, the fish house is where I became a disciple of Jesus Christ. I got the plaque. I could put it on the wall, but I just feel like that's unnecessary because it's something, that is be a view, right? Like, my own actions will tell you that I am a disciple of Jesus Christ, right? Either way, that being the case, we went to that service with Pastor Greg. I always call him Bob for some reason. I don't know why. But Pastor Greg, and he had a foot washing ceremony. Because the Thursday.
Yeah, it was cool.
I've
never seen that.
what?
Oh, foot
You've never
washing
seen
is
that?
No, see, at the fish house.
My parents didn't.
This was their
raise
first
me in
time doing
church,
it.
So.
This was their first time doing it at the United Methodist Church or whatever. Maybe it wasn't.
Belong on the couch.
But it was because they said it's never happened. So that being the case, me and Melissa were the only people to get our feet washed because we read the cheat sheet, the cheat sheet. And like since everybody's been going there forever, so they got the cheat sheet, but they just sat it down. Well, we were like, oh look at that, they're gonna wash feet. All right. So we take our shoes off and we're sitting in the aisle, we're just waiting, we're ready, and then all of a sudden they're like, boom, and we were sitting in the last row because I'm raised Methodist. That's what I did growing up, the whole every Wednesday school thing, even though like the whole time I was writing God.
Okay, anyway.
Okay, back to the story at hand, the testimony. So we're sitting there ready, and we happened to be the last corner, last few. So we were first, barefoot up there. Everybody else was like, and we were like, weird.
Everybody else got their hands
especially
washed.
at the end, because
Yeah.
no one else did it. And then I had new socks on, so I had black fuzzy all over. I'm like, it's just a new sock, don't worry, it's not like some fungus growing.
Oh, wow.
It was a great time.
Well, good.
Also, we have
Our son has so much fun with him.
in that piece of paper you have that says our support system and the phone numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Myers is one who I want to put down, but I need to talk to him first. I also have another one, Daniel Floyd. He said I can put him down. He's in he goes to Life Church. He's part of Celebrate Recovery. He's kind of like the leader.
You know what? I found out that Life Church is a private Christian school.
And that's where we're going to put Luke in.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how we had him in
There can be scholarships, and even if there's not a scholarship, it's only $300 a month, $350 a month per child. No, it's not for private Christian school.
She's human resources, so she will probably get it for half off. She's human resources. She knows how to use resources.
I didn't know that.
So so I want that's where I want my kids to go.
Yep. So and then that also being the case. So Luke was in a monastery school in Bloomington. That's where he was in. He was in a monastery school. And the reason why we pulled him out of the monastery school is because of the riots and the danger zone, and then that was why we moved down here. That's why we made a move down here. It was because of the riots and the danger of that area.
As well as there are other positives combined with it.
Well, I mean, it was kind of it was on a whim. We moved to Illinois in an RV,
Mm-hmm.
Then we found this house from the most dangerous man in Hannibal, Glenn Ledbetter. He's he's the #1 suspect in the Christina Whitaker case.
Do you know who Glenn Ledbetter is?
It sounds familiar.
Well, you ever watch documentaries?
That's who used to own this house and property.
Yeah, it's still
we didn't know who he was. I just found an ad on Facebook and then found out after we decided to move here who he was. Just to make that clear, that we are not associated with him, but he is wanted in the disappearance for Christina Whitaker.
Yeah, he's #1 suspect.
Yeah, whatever, same difference. Anyway, we didn't know him personally until we got this land. You know what I mean? We still don't know him personally, but that's.
But
we know him.
if y'all want, you can watch the documentary on him. It's called Relentless. It's on Discovery Plus. It's interesting. I've watched it.
I'd have to look into that.
They show his mugshot, and it's a pretty rough mugshot, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at my mugshots, and bam, I look
He's
like a horrible
definitely-
person, then I look like a good person, and then it's all
I watched on something
And
else.
he is
Yeah.
definitely
And it's like
the
out of
person we got
Hannibal.
this house from.
Yeah.
out of Hannibal. Well,
sure,
see, there's
yeah.
also a Ledbetter officer, police officer, that's a Ledbetter too.
I looked him up.
And the older Ledbetter was
I
his
did
dad,
some
and
research
he
on
owned a
him
bunch
after
of
I found
land
out who he
and
was.
Yeah.
trailer homes, the mobile home.
I
Mobile
had
parks,
Fagan showed
trailer
up at our
homes.
door and asked me how
Yeah.
well we knew the person we got our house from. I'm like, not at all.
Yeah,
I
he's
was
like,
found
oh,
an
don't
ad
tell
on-
him that we contacted
Yeah.
you
I
for
was
fear of
like-
retaliation.
Yeah, I was like, I just found an ad on Facebook that, for this house, and so we took
Trade
it.
for an
and,
RV. We didn't suspect he had warrants or anything.
And he
you know.
was like, well, did you guys talk to him? Do you know where he is? I'm like, no. And he's like, well, he's wanted for multiple he's Fagan kind of
suspect.
exaggerated
He said
it,
he
possibly.
suspected multiple murders.
Yeah, he suspected multiple different murders.
Don't
and
reach out to him
disappearances.
for fear of
It
retaliation.
made me scared of him pretty much.
Yeah, poor
Since
little
you
boy.
guys traded your RV for this, right? For
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
trailer?
For
Yeah.
the
I
down
thought that's
payment,
what you
yeah.
had said.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I just kind of wanted to check in, and see how things are going.
Things are going better than they have ever been, and every day it keeps getting better and better.
Well, good.
Good.
Because I'm an
Glad.
amazing, you want to know something? Like people ask me how you doing. I always say how you doing. Actually,
Always-
okay, in reference to the Amish and the Mennonite community, right? This is what I do. I walk up to them and I say, "How is he doing?" And this is what they say: "Oh, he's doing great." And I'm like, "Okay, now how are you doing?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm doing all right." I'm like, "Cool. How are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing amazing." They're like, "Oh, that's a nice way to be." I said, "Well, you want to know why? Because even on a bad day, I'm still an amazing person."
Okay, now sit down.
No.
What did you find out from your job? Are you still doing the leave of absence? Or
Oh,
are you
yeah.
gonna go back?
I will not return to work. I will not return to gainful employment until the children are returned to our home for fear of offsetting the balance of our home.
Okay, so we
Period.
can keep visits.
You
Yeah,
can do
we don't have
whatever
to worry
you
about
can
doing them
do.
after 5:30.
You can do whatever you want.
Well, we want to work around your work schedule.
Yeah,
so if
yeah, yeah.
if you go back to work,
I will
we can
not
do them at
return back to work.
5:30.
I will not return back to work
Okay.
until the children return to home.
Okay.
So
Yep. Period.
also, were you able to figure out any more days for visits?
Not yet.
How
But
about
I'm going to be around some more people today, so maybe I can get something figured
Okay.
out.
Yeah, especially with the new names and stuff that we have, and Pastor Greg said he's
Oh
definitely
yeah.
willing to
Oh
do
yeah.
that.
I need to talk to you about something. So
But right now, it's only Children's Division that's approved. So I want you guys to keep getting me those names, and we can look at those when we get to that next step. But right now, we have to keep it Children's Division.
Okay. Also, I have a
Why not?
question. After she's done.
when are we gonna be able to make it to that next step?
Is that the win?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that
Um,
tight? That's cool, isn't it? I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, we'll just have, we want to continue to supervise. We have to report to the court to see how they're going. So that will be a team decision, a family support team decision when we're ready for that next step.
So when
Okay.
is the next family support team?
I don't have one set up yet. I don't
Isn't it
think.
the beginning of this coming up month?
Shouldn't it be
Maybe.
around May 6th, being that that's the court date, and then we're going to be fighting it? The whole, removal of the children? It should definitely be around that time. Cause
I don't think I have one set. I'll have to look and see.
I don't think you do either.
Yeah.
It should,
So-
because what if all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, you had no right to remove the children from the home, and then what? You know what I'm saying? Then we should
But
do
nothing's
a
going to change before court.
before court. I'm saying shortly after.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but
I'm
if,
not-
I mean, if that happens, if the judge determines we didn't have enough to remove the kids,
Yeah.
then they would be returned that day.
Okay, that's how it works.
if-
Yep.
If that's what the judge decides.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. That's
If
it.
he decides that we had enough to take jurisdiction and he's going to place the kids in the legal custody of the children's division,
So
then things stay the same.
can
Right,
things
we
in
get
court,
that, yep.
Can things in court go as to where maybe we could benefit from your services, but the kids should not